What is going on, everybody? What is going on? The Catch fam. Hope everyone is doing phenomenal today, man. Hope you guys have all had a great weekend. Hope everybody enjoyed their Sunday. Hope everyone is doing fantastic. You guys already know what time it is, man. Time for another live, way too early 2023 fantasy football mock draft with you guys with the Catch fam. We've still got a couple spots open, so the invite link is live in the YouTube chat and it is live on our Discord channel. So hop on in here, man. We're gonna have some fun today. We're gonna talk some fantasy football. You guys know what it is, man. Smash that like button on the way in. Hit that subscribe button. Of course, if you guys are new to the channel, and hop in the live chat. Let me know what's popping. Let me know how everyone is doing. Let's get right into it, man. So we are set to kick off at 5 p.m. Eastern time sharp. We'll see if that happens. We got to get these two spots filled. So we'll give it a couple minutes here and we'll see what happens. So we will have a random order tonight. This is a pretty standard format here. 1 quarterback, 2 running backs, 2 receivers, a tight end, 2 flex spots, kicker, defense, and we have got 5 bench spots. So pretty straightforward, full PPR. Guys know what it is. So once we get these next 2 spots filled, we'll randomize the order and we'll get going. So should be a good time, man. I'm excited, looking forward to it. Let's get into it, man. So I appreciate you guys coming out, and let's do it. So Chase in the house, what's good, man? Glad to be back. Glad to have you as always. What you been up to, man? It's good to see you. What's up? What's up? Emil in the house. Hello, hello. What's going on, guys? Bobby, what's going on? How's everyone doing, man? Appreciate you guys being here today, man. So I'm excited. I'm just ready to mock. Not really any news we need to go over in terms of NFL news. So, I mean, we're at that point in the offseason where there's not really a whole lot to talk about outside of pure speculation. So, we've got reports that Joe Mixon could be cut, according to Sleeper. We've already talked about that. Let's see. JaMycal Hasty signed a contract with the Jaguars. So, that's somewhat relevant if we see some injuries to maybe ETN, right? The Chiefs are expected to decline. Clyde Edwards-Helaire 5th-year option. Not really surprising there, but I still feel like CH and Dynasty formats is a good late-round selection because the dude's super young. And, you know, he can definitely contribute to another team as RB1, RB2. Probably leaning towards a, split backfield RB2 spot. But nonetheless, CH, definitely a lot of talent, so we'll see if he gets a good landing spot or not. But yeah, other than that, talked about Matt Nagy being promoted last night. Yeah, Bobby Wagner got released. We already talked about that as well. You got Jalen Ramsey rumors in terms of him being traded. And yeah, we did get a report on Javonte Williams. Could be out well into the 2023 season. So keep that in mind. We had reports, earlier that he might be ready, by training camp. Now we're getting reports that it's going to be somewhat into the season. So definitely interesting for those of you guys who own him, maybe in dynasty formats, who owned him maybe in keeper leagues as well. And for those of you making him part of your draft strategy going into next season as well. So keep that in mind. But other than that, we got a whole lot of nothing going on. But that was a little bit more than I actually expected when I double checked there. So, all right, we got 1 spot to fill. Let me give a shout out on Discord real quick and we'll get this thing going. I mean, we could always run it with 1 bot, but we'll see what happens here. All right. All right. I'm going to tag a couple people too. Let's tag Prey. Let's tag J-Dubs. And let's tag Godfather. 3 subscribers that popped in my mind. Chase, been busy with work. Life's getting super busy. I feel that, man. Yeah, I've been super busy as well. Work, baby, streaming. And yeah, man. But I've been great. I appreciate you asking. It's good to have you in the house. Great to have you draft him. Albert, what's going on? Hello, hello. What are you up to, man? Sir Bongs a lot. What's going on? Hope everyone's doing great. All right, and we got that final spot filled. So let's hit the draft order. And we'll kick off right at 5 p.m. Eastern time. Why not? Give everyone a chance to hop in here and let's do it. All right, where am I at? 1.6. Interesting. So I know we tried to throw together a mock draft last night after the Underdog stream. I don't know if that ever got completely filled, but I'm definitely down tonight to run one or two off-air mock drafts. I'd like to do a Dynasty mock draft tonight. So for those of you guys in the Dynasty Leagues, I'll send out an invite a little bit later. And then if you guys want to run like a late night regular mock draft, we can do that as well. So just kind of stay posted on Discord and see what happens there. So, all right, guys, we got less than a minute. Let's do it. I'm excited. Grail Collect, you're up at 1.1. Good to see you, by the way, Grail. Tox, you're at 1.2. Emil, 1.3. Chunk, 1.4. Tommy, 1.5. Make sure you guys are ready. We got 30 seconds per selection. And we'll be kicking off any moment now. So 5 p.m. Eastern time. Check your clocks, get your keyboard ready, get your mouse ready, get your fingers ready, get your laptop or phone ready. We're hopping into another live 2023 fantasy football mock draft any second now. I'm going to wait till my clock hits 5. There we go. All right, we're doing it. Draft is live. Let's get it. All right, we're going to go at 1.6. Tox, what's going on, man? How we doing? Our last off-air mock went really interesting where, like, Austin Eckler kind of slid out. We had a lot of receivers go really early. And then, I mean, Kelsey went before Eckler as well, which is interesting. So we'll see how things go today. I mean, we're probably going to get your typical picks here. There goes Christian McCaffrey at 1.1. Justin Jefferson got at 1.2. No big surprise there. Those are the two players we were seeing going off the board with the first two selections. There goes Travis Kelsey. We are consistently seeing Kelsey go in the top 5, top 6 mock draft after mock draft. So sitting at the board right now, I mean, you still got JT, Austin Eckler, Jamar Chase. There goes Chase. Yeah, I mean, we're seeing Chase and Kelsey really come up into the top 5 on a consistent basis. There goes Kenneth Walker, Tommy going out and getting his boy. And once again, we see Austin Eckler fall out here. I'll take Eckler 1.6 all day long. And I'm not mad about the Kenneth Walker pick whatsoever. We talked about this a lot last offseason, right? If you have a top running back in your eyes and you want to start your draft with an RB1, then just go out and draft your guy. Like, you know, I'll make an argument for guys like Eckler and C-Mac to be the top 2 running backs. But I think after that, like, you can really go for your selection, right? You know, whether it's Derrick Henry, Jonathan Taylor, Kenneth Walker, Breece Hall, Saquon Barkley, Josh Jacobs, ETN, you know, Tony Pollard. I mean, Pollard's kind of hurt, so that might not be a great example. But whoever it is, go out. You know, if you know you want to start your strategy with a running back, go out and get your RB. And if it's Kenneth Walker, 1.5, I'm not mad about it. All right, so Eckler goes at 1.6 to myself. Then we see JT, Cooper Kupp, Derrick Henry, Diggs, and Lamb, as well as Saquon Barkley wrapping up the first round. Going into the second round, we see ETN and Breece Hall off of the board. So some good top-tier running back value at the end of the first going into the second round. We'll see how the rest of the second round here wraps up. J-Dubs, what's going on, man? Hello, hello, hello. What are we up to, man? Did that second mock draft ever get filled, J-Dubs? Maybe we still have a couple spots left. We could run that later tonight. All right, so there goes Jacobs and Bijan Robinson. More really good running back value off of the board. We'll see if we get a run at receiver anytime soon, or if we continue to see running backs go, or if we see a Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Jalen Hurts start to come off the board as well. There goes Tyreek Hill at 2.5, a really nice value, especially paired with Cooper Kupp. Absolutely love that pick. There goes Devontae Adams. I was about to say, if Devontae Adams falls out to 2.7, I'm going to be ecstatic. He does not. That is okay. I'll take A.J. Brown here, take a receiver off the board, and we will move right along. So, we still got Dalvin Cook, Joe Mixon, Najee Harris, Zeke, and Nick Chubb, Swift, Aaron Jones, Pollard. Tons of running backs left. Tons of receivers left here as well. No quarterbacks off the board. Only one tight end and Kelsey off the board so far. Talks is Allen Robinson really still on the board? Oh, yeah. I mean, hey, he's all yours, man. There goes Metcalf. Tommy sticking with his team. Going double Seahawks there. Thomas, I wanted Bijan. Yeah, I don't think in most mocks Bijan Robinson's going to make it past 2.4. You know, and especially after he's drafted to a respective team, we know a little bit more about his situation. You'll probably see him go at the end of the first. All right, so second round continuing here. We got Metcalf, Garrett Wilson, Nick Chubb, and Tony Pollard off the board. Grail goes with Dalvin Cook at 2.12 and takes us into the third round. James, I got a redraft ready for off-air with 3 spots left. Yeah, for sure. We can run that later tonight if you want to. Just let me know. I'm definitely going to run a Dynasty mock tonight. So we could run the redraft before or after that as well. Smokey, what's going on, bro? Great to see you. Hello, hello, hello. How we doing, man? On my way to Universal. Have fun. Must be a blast living nearby Universal and Disney. But yeah, man, should be fun. Hoping to join a draft this week. We'd love to have you, bro, for sure. Thomas, the Seahawks stack. I mean, now you got to get Geno late, right? Make it a true stack. Jacobs, the lack of quarterbacks going is weird. It is a little strange. Amon-Ra, St. Brown falling out to 3.2 to Tox is a phenomenal value. I mean, I almost went Amon-Ra at 2.7. And I was like, there's no way he lasts at 3.6. Jalen Waddle at 3.4 is a phenomenal value as well. Absolutely love that. All right, there goes Higgins. Higgins, a great value there. Some really, really nice receiver value here in the third round. All right, I'm going to go with Swift. I just love the upside of DeAndre Swift. I know the risk there. You can, grill me all you want about it. I just really like the upside that comes with DeAndre Swift. Chris Olave goes off the board at 3.7. And there goes our first quarterback in Josh Allen. He goes at 3.8. I thought about going quarterback there, but we'll see what happens here. I'm good as Swifty. You guys know me, I'm a Swifty. James probably be late after 8 p.m. Central Time. Yeah, just let us know. I'm down to run that mock for sure. But yeah, I'll probably run a Dynasty mock tonight at I don't know, whenever I get the baby down. So literally could be anytime between 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time and 10 p.m. Eastern Time. So I'll just keep you guys posted, and we'll figure it out from there. So, yeah. All right, so third round wrapping up here. We got Najee Harris, Amon-Ra, Ramondre Stevenson, Jalen Waddle, Higgins, Swift, Olave, Josh Allen, Mark Andrews, our second tight end off the board, Jalen Hurts, Javonte Williams, and now Patrick Mahomes finishes out the third round. You know our boy Michael is not going to pass up Patty Mahomes. So here's our latest news on Javonte Williams. As of 3 days ago, according to RotoWire, Williams' knee injury could be sidelined well into the 2023 season, according to ESPN's Jeff Legwood. Williams tore his ACL and LCL in Week 4 last season, obviously missed the remainder of the year. His injury recovery will be a hot topic leading to training camp and fantasy drafts this summer, with Williams still rehabbing in all 3 of Murray, Boone, and Mack scheduled for free agency. Running back is an area of need for the Broncos, so we'll see what happens there. Nonetheless, Javonte goes at 3.11 tonight. All right, into the fourth round, we've got Devonta Smith and Joe Burr off the board. And there goes Aaron Jones. Talk says Mixon and Kamara on the board. Hopefully one of them falls to me. I mean, one of them probably will. I mean, listen, in redraft formats and to some degree even in dynasty formats, I don't dislike Alvin Kamara. At the right value, that is. At the right value. Because, let's say he gets a 6-game suspension and he can use them down the road. I mean, it's definitely going to be valuable come playoff time. All right, where do I want to go here? I almost didn't get that pick in. That was scary. I'm going to take my quarterback off the board. I'll take T-Law. A couple running backs there that I don't hate. A couple receivers that I like as well, but I'm going to hold off. I'm just going to lock up quarterback early today. A little bit of QB run here, right? So took a little bit for that quarterback run to start, but Allen goes at 3.8. You see Hurts and Mahomes at the end of the third round. I mean, we've seen those 3 quarterbacks go beginning of the second in some drafts. So interesting draft today nonetheless, but into the fourth, a little bit more of a run at the quarterback position with Burrow, Herbie, Fields, and T-Law off the board. There goes Lamar Jackson at 4.10. There goes Kittle. So that puts the quarterbacks kind of into the next tier, right? Kyler Murray, Prescott, Wilson, Tua time, Cousins, Lance, Jones, Watson. So we'll see how the rest of the quarterback room kind of shapes out here. So nonetheless, fourth round wrapping up here. We got Devonta Smith, Burrow, Aaron Jones, Herbert, D-Hop, Fields, T-Law, Lenny, playoff Lenny Fournette, Deebo Samuel, Lamar Jackson, George Kittle, and now Keenan Allen's off the board and into the fifth round we go. Thomas, there goes my Fields, and was going to grab T-Law. Well, now you just shift to a late round quarterback, right? Nonetheless, yeah, I was kind of debating not going quarterback there. I just didn't want to miss out on, I don't know. I felt like having a top tier guy today, so we'll go Lawrence. Love that pick. All right, end of the fifth round, we got Prescott, Pierce, and T-Hawk kicking things off. Emil, John, what do you think of the Lamar Jackson situation? Think he stays in Baltimore? I've gone kind of back and forth on this one. I don't know. You know, there was a point where I was like, no, I don't think they get it done. There was a point where I was like, you know, I think I'm being a little bit too harsh. I do think that they're going to figure something out. Lamar Jackson's going to be franchise tagged. I'm going to go Cam Akers here. But I just don't know at this point. It's a really murky situation, you know? Really, I have no idea. I mean, what even happens? So, yeah, Lamar Jackson wants a fully guaranteed deal. And I don't blame him at all. You know, his style of play puts him at risk for injury larger than anyone out there, right? So, I mean, maybe Justin Fields right there with him. I feel like Hurts is such a safe runner. But obviously those guys have, you know, more exposure to injury potential with their style of play. So I don't blame Jackson at all. But I'm really torn on it, Emil. I mean, what do you guys think? You think Lamar Jackson re-signs? You think he gets traded? You think he gets franchise tagged and then traded? It's definitely going to be, I would say, out of all the off-season contract situations, that's probably going to be the biggest story, right? I mean, I guess got Aaron Rodgers floating around as well, but or potentially floating around, I guess I should say. But all right, fifth round wrapping up here. We got Prescott, Pierce, T-Hawk, Pitts, Christian Watson, Cam Akers, Drake London, Miles Sanders, Mike Evans, James Conner, George Pickens, and one more pick here by Michael in the fifth round. And then we'll move right along in the sixth round. Talks, once T-Law was gone, I was ready to embrace going late round quarterback. Right, that's how I feel. Yeah, definitely how I feel. Someone's willing to pay him. I have no idea if it'll be the Ravens or not. Yeah, 100% agree. Somebody's going to pay Lamar Jackson close to what he wants. I do not doubt it whatsoever. All right, sixth round underway. We got Algier off the board, followed by Christian Kirk. Two really good values here in the sixth round. Love both those selections. You guys know that I have a lot of love for Christian Kirk. There goes Chris Godwin. I really think Godwin is a good selection here as well. I don't hate Scary Terry going off the board as well. I was wondering if there's an update on Kyle Trask, because I think the Bucks came out and said that they're going to roll with Kyle Trask this year, so we'll see what happens there. All right. I'm going to take Mike Williams here. I need a receiver, and I'm okay with that pick. And we will move right along. Appreciate you guys hanging out today. Appreciate you guys coming out to the stream, drafting with me. You guys having a great weekend. All right, so our second rookie running back up the board is going to be Jahmyr Gibbs today. I like that selection, kind of like a mini Alvin Kamara out of Alabama. Good pick there. I'm a big fan of Zach Charbonnet at the moment, but love Gibbs as well. All right, there goes Ridley. There goes Joe Mixon. He falls out to 6.9. We got speculation of him being on the chopping block. Cincinnati Bengals running back Joe Mixon has been identified as a cut candidate, according to PFF.com. Yeah, it'd be interesting, man. I was a huge Mixon fan coming into this season. Running back 10 on the year, but really, if you take away, he did miss 2 games. So, but if you take away, where's the massive Oh, I'm looking at the wrong numbers. Yeah, week 9, like, you know, if you take away week 9, or if you just put this back to his average, I don't know if he even finishes close to top 10. But still got you double digits in all but 1, 2, 3, 4 games and missed 2 games. So still a good year. But be interesting to see what team he potentially winds up on. All right, Hollywood Brown, Rashad White, Brandon Ayuk wrap up the 6th round. Into the 7th we go with DJ Moore and Isaiah Pacheco off the board. There goes Deontay Johnson, J.K. Dobbins. Thomas, I froze on that Ridley pick. I think Ridley is a good value there at 6.8. I don't have anything against that at all. But yeah, it happens. You know. All right, there goes JSN. I like that pick as well. All right, I'm going to scoop up my boy T. Lockett. And I'm starting to like to start this team. 3 running backs, I believe, in a little bit of... you might need some more running back depth just with injuries and everything. Receiver room, I believe in. But kind of a veteran-esque receiver room. So, still got to lock up tight end. We'll see how the rest of this draft goes. But I think a good little start here, nonetheless. All right, there goes A.J. Dillon. I'm going to roll through, make a queue very quickly. Just so I don't screw up this draft too badly. Alright, so let me just roll through here. A lot of good talent still out there on the board. There goes A.J. Dillon, Charbonnet, and Monty. 3 really good values in the 7th round. Love those picks, guys. Sometimes I have to switch my head from, like, dynasty thinking back to redraft. Alright. Alright, Q's looking okay here. Should be at a good spot. Talks, I really hope Ridley would fall to me. Close. Went at 6.8, you're at 6.11. I have a plan at the quarterback position. I have faith it will come to fruition. Hey, I am always excited to see what you've got up your sleeve, my dude. All right, Judy goes at 7.10. I love that value right there. I considered Judy over Williams or Lockett, but I'm good with Williams and Lockett for sure. Goddard goes, our first tight end since 5.4. Good value there at 7.11. Quentin Johnson off the board at 7.12. I love that pick by Michael. And into the 8th round, we go with Jahan Dotson off the board. Let's go, let's go. There goes Cook. We'll move right along, man. Dalton Schultz, so a couple more tight ends going here. Where am I going to go with this next pick? Gabe Davis off of the board. How do you guys feel about Gabe Davis? Are you giving him another shot next year? There goes Brian Robinson. Love that value on B-Rob at 8.5. J-Mo's off the board. A lot of directions I could go here. A lot of directions we could go here. I got 18 seconds to figure it out. I'm going to take a risk. I'm going to go Alvin Kamara. Just talked about it earlier. You know, if you get a healthy Kamara, which will probably be well rusted this year. I mean, let's say he misses 8 games. Get him down the stretch, right? If you have a good enough running back room, I think it's okay at the right value. Like, I'll take Kamara in the late 8th round through the rest of the draft, really. I like him even more at like 9.6, but I don't think realistically he would fall out here. I think somebody eventually would take him. But if you can get him like the mid-9th round, like, you're probably not bringing a whole lot of risk to your squad. And you look at this build so far with Austin Eckler, DeAndre Swift, and Akers. Like, I've got 2 guys who are relatively injury-prone in Swift and Akers. So having an additional running back down the stretch could hold a lot of value. But on top of that, there's a lot of risk with selecting Kamara. You know, if he misses the entire season, for example, then you've wasted a draft pick. So it's a risky pick. Could pay off. Might not pay off. But I do think when you have a looming suspension for a player of that caliber, go back to the season where Ezekiel Elliott was suspended for a couple games. You know, those of you who were willing to draft Ezekiel Elliott, including myself that season, you got some pretty good value because Zeke didn't miss time till the end of the season, which to kind of screw you, like moving into the playoffs, but you got a star-studded running back. I mean, that was in like Zeke's prime for the first half of the season, and he got him at an extreme discount. So, obviously, as the offseason goes on, we will have a better idea of what's going to happen with Kamara. But, if you can get him at the right value right now, I think it's okay. But understand that you're still making a risky selection. All right, enough about that. 8th round wraps up here. We got Kadarius Toney, Ezekiel Elliott, Addison, Burks, and Sutton. 3 receivers in a row. And into the 9th round we will go. Let's do it. All right, still a lot of value out there on the board. So let's look at this squad so far. I still need some receiver help. I think we can wrap that up kind of in later rounds. There goes Darren Waller off the board with an auto pick. Still need a tight end. There goes Evan Ingram, a really nice pick there by Tox. And we'll see what happens, man. See what happens. All right, Emil on the board here. Goes Odell Beckham. Tommy says, I'm not trusting Gabe Davis again. I've had him 2 years in a row. Yeah. I'm not a huge fan of Gabe Davis either. Kenneth Gainwell. Man, you guys know I wanted Gainwell in this squad. Gainwell is just going to continue to move up and up in ADP in my mind. All right, couple directions I could go here. But I'm going to take my tight end. I'm going to go Pat F all day long. Yeah, like that's what I was worried of. Looking at the board right in front of me, I've got 1, 2, 3 teams without a tight end, and 3 teams who will be making 2 more selections before I picked again at 10.7. The 2 tight ends left on the board that I am a fan of and would be content with were Pat Freiermuth and Cole Kmet. So I did not want to miss out on either of those guys. At this point, if you don't spend your first round pick on Travis Kelce and you don't get a good value on a Kittle, Hawkinson, Pitts, Andrews, or Goddard, then I am moving directly into that next tier, which I'm okay with, and seeing where I can select a Dalton Schultz, Evan Ingram, Pat Freiermuth, or Cole Kmet. I'm really on the fence about Darren Waller, but that has more to do with injuries than his actual skill level, and who will potentially be throwing him the football next year. But yeah, I mean, I think Goddard especially is the tight end that I'm taking a strong look at. You guys know that last season, that was kind of my mindset, right? If you don't spend an early selection on Kelce or Andrews and you don't get a player like Kittle or Pitts falling to you at a high value, or maybe Dalton Schultz as well, then hold off and see what kind of later round value you can get. And guys I like going into last season were Goddard, Freiermuth, Dawson Knox, and Hunter Henry. So, about 2 of those guys worked out. Really, Dawson Knox was the most surprising to me. Hunter Henry being associated with the offensive play calling, I had more faith in Henry, and ultimately the season was awful. But yeah, you want to kind of, target, kind of have a list of those late round tight ends who you think can bring you top 8 potential, right? Because if you don't get Kelce, like, I still don't think anyone's going to move in front of Kelce. But if someone is going to, it's probably going to be Andrews, Hawkinson. If Kittle's healthy all year, Kittle, or maybe Goddard. So, look and associate yourself with those late round guys who you think can move up into the top tier. I think Njoku's interesting as well. And I actually think that Dawson Knox could have a bounce back year as well. A couple other guys, I mean, I don't know. That's actually probably about it. Greg Dulcich, I think, is an interesting selection as well. All right, this might surprise you guys, but I'm going to go Kyler Murray here. It probably doesn't surprise you guys because I've been taking Kyler so much, but not really necessary for this roster, but it brings some trade value. And God forbid anything happen to Trevor Lawrence to get some depth as well. But yeah, main thing is trade value here when Kyler is fully healthy, and going to need a second quarterback at some time. But yeah, I just like Kyler there at 10.7. I think it's good value, so we'll take him, snag him up, and see what happens here. Thomas agreed. If not top quarterback or tight end, then hold off. Yep. I think quarterback's a little bit interesting. It just depends. Depends on who you're drafting with, right? Because we've seen some drafts where Trevor Lawrence, Justin Fields, and Herbert kind of fall out a little bit longer. So it depends, but if you're not getting Lawrence, Fields, or Herbert at the right value, then I'm I'm holding off. I'm not spending an early pick on Lamar or Prescott. And I mean, gosh, Prescott went at 5.1, Lamar went at 4.10, which is still good value, but then we didn't see another quarterback go till 10.7 and Kyler Murray, you know? So I love this next tier. You know, if you get Murray, then you back him up with Daniel Jones, like Jared Goff, Russell Wilson, maybe a rookie like Stroud or Young, Rodgers or Kirk Cousins, Watson, Tua time. Like, I really think there's a lot of value there. But, yeah, I mean, you just look at the skill players you can select in between or during the rounds where quarterbacks are going. I mean, holding off, there's nothing wrong with it whatsoever. All right, I'm going to take Zay Jones here. Give me a receiver. Still need some receiver help. And, yeah. So, I only got 2 more picks here. I'm just going to roll through here, kind of touch up my queue. And I feel like we're in a pretty good spot. I like the start to this team a lot. I mean, we're pretty deep into the draft. Still a lot of receivers left that I think could help shore up this depth. And running back's interesting right now. There's some rookies that I would take a chance on. Zach Evans, Deuce Vaughn. I like Dwayne McBride a lot, too. But he's going to be a little bit of a later round guy. Kareem Hunt still laying around. Jared McKinnon, Rashad Penny. There's some value to some degree, but it might make more sense for me just to finish out this team with some receiver depth and kind of go in the season with the 4 running backs that I have. There goes Rondell Moore, a guy that I was truthfully kind of hoping would fall out to 12.7, but not surprised to see him be selected there whatsoever. But yeah, feel pretty good about this team so far. Talks, if I get the 2 guys on my queue, I'll really like this team. We'll see what happens, man. I was interested to see what quarterback it was you were going after. But I like the Bryce Young pick at 10.11. Man, Bryce Young just so incredibly talented, great leader. I mean, really everything that you want on paper other than his size, you know? Really, really, I mean, some reports are saying he's close to like 190 pounds at best. Obviously short as well. It's just going to be interesting to see if guys like C.J. Stroud, Anthony Richardson, Will Levis jump in front of Young just because of his size. You know, it's going to be an interesting combine this year for sure. But Bryce Young has everything else that you want. So it's going to be interesting for sure. Thomas, up my RB fall to me, could use one more. I'm always interested to see who it is you guys are going after. All right, man. Great drafting today. Great stream so far. Appreciate you guys being here. Like I said, we'll run 1 or 2 off-air mock drafts as well. So just kind of stay posted on Discord later today, later tonight, and see what happens. I've really been enjoying the off-air mocks. The chat has been super fun. So appreciate you guys, man. Ooh, I don't know where I'm going to go with this next pick. With Tyler Boyd. Just theoretically. I mean, Boyd is still going to be under contract next year, right? Let me double check that. Because what I'm saying is, theoretically, if you have Higgins traded, God forbid, and Boyd is still there, I mean, Boyd steps into the number 2 role right away. So let me just double check what his contract looks like. Tommy gets his guy, Gino. I love it. All right, so he's still under contract this year, but he's on the last year of his contract. And then, I mean, I think Higgins is under contract through next year, but he's just looking for an upgrade, right? He's proven. Tox, he's been working on the weight, I think, could be up to 200 by the time the combine comes. Yeah, I think he's going, like, I won't be surprised if he gets there, and I think he needs to get there, but, I mean, it might not matter, you know? I mean, he might still go at 1.1. Michael Thomas still there in the 12th round. I might actually take him instead. Yeah, I don't hate Thomas there, but I just am not drafting Michael Thomas. You know, like, someone's going to take him, that's fine. Last 2 years, I've told you guys someone else can take him. I'm good with it. It's not going to be me. But obviously, when he was healthy last year, it looked incredible. I'm going to go Alexander Madison here, but man, there are a lot of players sitting here that I really like, and I'm surprised that Tua is still available. But, yeah. Mike Cube still has 5 or 6 players I really like. Jared Goff available, too. Man. I mean, I love my quarterback room right now, but kind of regret not going late round quarterback. Thomas, I was looking for Tyler Algier. He is long gone. He went at 6.1. Rashad Penny, let's go. I actually like Penny as a late round pick, for sure. 2 games from Michael Thomas, probably worth the 12th round. I mean, like, you're not wrong. I mean, you get him in the 12th round, and he gives you this production for 2 games. Like, or I'm sorry, these are his actual numbers. Those are standard. But PPR, 22 and 18. 9.9 is not even 2. I mean, it's not ideal, but it is what it is. All right, there goes Tua. There goes C.J. Stroud. There goes Jared Goff. I'm like, and they're all backups. I mean, you got Hurts and Tua, Burrow and Stroud, Mahomes and Goff. It's beautiful, man. Had to snag Jordan Love. Yeah, I like Love as well. I mean, you probably want to pair Bryce Young with somebody just in case if he's not starting right away. Although him, Stroud, Levis, Richardson, all could be starters pretty early or right away for that matter. All right, guys, into the 14th round we go. So we're probably going to see mostly kickers and defense here. We'll see a couple skill position players gone. Yeah, my queue still has players I like here. I'm tempted to just fill out with skill position players, but we'll pick a kicker and defense and make this a true. Oh, Niners are on the board. Give me that all day long. There's some good. There's a couple of defenses. I mean, I'm not going to shout anyone out, try and ruin anyone's draft, but yeah, there's some good defenses left. Good skill position players left. Yeah, man. There were good quarterbacks falling really far, so I wasn't planning on being there. Yeah. Lots of good. I mean, we had a huge run of no quarterback selected between 5.1 and 10.7, and then a lot of good value at the quarterback position late in this mock. So, is what it is, man. Happens sometimes. All right, you guys can start to let me know if you guys are ready. I can take a look at your squad. And, yeah. If you want a team review, just let me know. If you want to wait for your final pick, let me know. I'm just going to pick a kicker and call it a day. And I like the way this team shaped out. Hopefully Madison is a running back somewhere and can give me some value. If not, it didn't cost me much at 13.6. But would be a nice addition to this squad. All right, so let me pick a kicker. You guys let me know if you're ready or not, and we'll move right along. I'll go Nick Folk here all day long. Yeah, I mean, they're like KJ Osborne, Isaiah Hodgins, Michael Carter, Chuba Hubbard, Hunter Renfrow. You still got Brock Purdy, Carr, Rogers, staph infection out there. Some pretty good value out there. Tyler Higbee. DJ Chark's interesting. I mean, other skill position players that I like. There goes Trey Lance, a good value at 15.7. But, yeah, other skill position players I like that are kind of up in the air going into free agency. Curtis Samuel's available. Lots of good value. I mean, we're just used to drafting on Underdog, where we have 20 rounds right now. Drafting Dynasty style, where we have a crap ton of rounds. So when we go back to the redraft format, where you're going to have just 5 bench spots, it's like, man, there's so many players out there that I like, you know? So, nonetheless. All right, let's take a look at a couple squads here. All right, Thomas up first. What we do today, Tommy? Quarterback, we got Geno. I'm nothing against that. At 12.8, it's a good value. Knox at tight end, I'm not against. Like I said, I do think that Dawson Knox could have a bounce-back season. Was your tight end 14 last year in full PPR. He missed 3 games. Had a good stretch at the end of the season. 9.3 or more fantasy points in the 4 out of 5 games he started at the end of the year. And then that's including the Cincinnati game. So he only missed 2 games. I just had a mind lapse here. Cincinnati game just didn't get played right. So, yeah, was playing really well at the end of the season. I still like Dawson Knox quite a bit. Went from tight end 8 to tight end 14. But yeah, I do think maybe if you go Knox, you could consider a second tight end, whether it's a Higbee, Dolchich, Chicken-Conquo, maybe a rookie, to someone at the end, right? But I'm still fine with Knox as a primary tight end. Running backs, we got Kenneth Walker, playoff Lenny, Herbert, Harris, Patterson. That's probably the biggest problem with this team, right? Like, you're relying on Kenneth Walker, which is fine. Herbert's a good value at 9.5, and Harris, if he goes to the right squad, could be productive as well. Fournette at 4.8, you probably don't need to take Leonard Fournette at 4.8. Like, if you want Fournette on your team, you probably could have got him, I mean, I would say in the 8th round. He's probably going to fall into this kind of tier of Kamara, Zeke, and then whoever gets taken afterwards. Maybe in the 7th, but Fournette, we don't know what team he's going to be on next year. Could stay with the Bucks, could be cut. So that's the earliest that we've probably seen Fournette go. I don't have a problem going after Fournette. Still was actually quite productive this past season. Your RB12 in full PPR. Had Rashad White there as well. But yeah, I mean, there's James Cook. I don't think you need to take him that early. So a little bit of an issue at running back. But nonetheless, man, I mean, we saw a lot of teams last year, kind of go hero running back and rely on one running back. So I think that's okay, because you look at this receiver room, it's pretty stacked, right? DK Metcalf, T. Higgins, Christian Watson, Calvin Ridley, JSN, Kadarius Toney. Got a ton of upside there between Watson, JSN, and Toney. And I would probably put Ridley in that same category of kind of probably is going to be very productive, but we still haven't seen him with the Jaguars. But you could probably assume with the way the Jaguars played last year, he's going to have a huge role. Then you got Metcalf and Higgins as kind of like your primary guys. So your receiver room looks great. Eagles defense, Matt Gay, still a good team. Yeah, I didn't even mention Cordell Patterson. I don't hate Patterson at 13.5, but obviously we saw that consistency from 2021 completely drop off. Running back 9 to running back 31, but he still had 8 touchdowns, so still gave you some good games nonetheless. But you're starting Geno, starting Knox, starting Walker, and Herbert or Fournette at RB2. Probably rotating the RB2 spot. Starting Metcalf, starting Higgins, and then your 2 flexes, you're probably going, Watson, Ridley, or JSN. So that gives you some receiver depth on the bench, some potential running back depth on the bench as well. It's a good little team here. It's an interesting build, but a good team. Good draft, man. All right, Brian, what we do tonight, man? We're at 1.7. We got Fields and Kmet and Lance. I love it. I actually really like that quarterback room. You guys know I love Fields. Get the upside of Trey Lance. Kmet at tight end, get a little stack here. Jonathan Taylor, Jahmyr Gibbs, Zach Charbonnet, Tucker, and Spears. A lot of rookie running backs behind JT. Be beautiful for Dynasty, but nonetheless, I don't know, you might want to take one proven veteran in a proven role here. Even if it's a guy like Isaiah Pacheco at 6.6, Joe Mixon at 6.6, just somebody, right? Brian Robinson in the 8th round. Nonetheless, there's a ton of upside at the position. You're not going to know who's going to be your running back 2 right away, and it could take some time, right? Receivers look pretty good, though. Devontae Adams, Chris Olave, Drake London, J-Mo, Gallup, Collins, Robinson. No kicker. Defense is fine. Receivers, I think you got some good late-round value in Gallup, Collins, and Robinson, and even J-Mo in the 8th round. So we are starting Field, starting Kmet, starting JT, and I'm going to say Gibbs or Charbonnet. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, your rookie running backs here are pretty damn good, but it's just like you just don't know exactly who's going to be in a starting role or productive enough role right away that you're going to have a little bit of a question mark. But I love Gibbs, and I love Charbonnet, and then Tucker and Spears are fine too. So I'm going to say you're starting Taylor and Gibbs or Charbonnet, right? Then Adams and Olave, then you're flexing London. Then your second flex is kind of up in the air. I'm not saying that you're in a bad position here, but you got Gibbs or Charbonnet, whoever you're not starting at RB2, J-Mo, Tucker, Spears, Gallup, Collins, Robinson. Like, I think you could absolutely get it figured out throughout the season with one of any of those guys, right? So still in a good position, still got a lot of depth here, but like I said, he might kind of have some question marks at your second flex and second running back, but once things get solidified, I think he'd be just fine. Chase, what's up, Chase? Always good to have you in the building, my dude. Chase, are you playing Dynasty with us or what? Love to have you, man. All right, so we got Hurts and Tua. I mean, say no more. Dalton Schultz at tight end, good value at 8.3. Jacobs, Jones, Connor, Jamal Williams, and we have got Condre Miller. So good running back room. Diggs, Godwin, Judy. We got Hyatt. Good value there, 10.3. Rondell Moore, good value at 11.10. I mean, just really good running back and receiver value throughout this draft. A good tight end, 2 stud quarterbacks, good kicker, Money Mac, and a good defense in the Broncos defense. So, yeah, it's a great team, man. Starting Hurts, starting Schultz, starting Diggs and Godwin, Jacobs and Jones. Then in your flex, probably going Connor and Judy, which leaves you with J-Mo, Hyatt, Rondo, Moore, and Miller. You're in a really good position here for the flex and for your overall depth on the bench. I love this team, man. Great squad, Chase. Love it. Coast to coast. What'd you do today, man? All right, we got Danny Dimes, Russell Wilson, Pitts, and Dulcich. I mean, for a late-round quarterback, and not really late-round tight end room, but for a late-round quarterback room, I'm fine with Jones and Wilson. For not taking a tight end until the 5th round, I like Pitts and Dulcich a lot. Started out heavy at receiver. Chase, Wilson, Waddle, Debo at 4.9. Love the receiver room. Yeah, I mean, you have 4 guys who can be in your lineup on a weekly basis, right? So I'm completely fine with this wide receiver room. You know, you might want to go with another receiver at the end of the draft, someone who's maybe a little bit, you know, younger, just in case of injuries, but I'm not going to knock this wide receiver room. Running backs, Mixon, Dobbins, Zeke, Gainwell, Penny. I mean, say what you want. You know, some of these guys in murky situations, Zeke and Mixon, Dobbins, the injury history. I think Gainwell is going to have a good year next year, and I like Penny in the 13th round. Like, say what you want, but this is good running back value between the 6th and 13th round. For not picking a running back till the 6th round, I like this RB room. So you're starting Danny Dimes, starting Pitts. Unless the Broncos go crazy, then you got a little stack there with Russ, Greggy D. Starting Chase and Garrett Wilson. I'm going to say you're starting Mixon and Dobbins. Then you're flexing Waddle and Debo. Leaves you with Zeke, Gainwell, Danger Russ, Greg Dulcich, Penny on the bench. I like this team. Jets defense. I love the Jets defense going into next year. And Robbie Gould, great kicker as well. Yeah, that's a good team, man. I like it. Interesting build, but I like it a lot. Thomas says I would have grabbed Will Levis, but I just did Gino. That's fine. Oh, I just did defense and kicker. Okay, sorry. Not that. Yeah, that's fine. I mean, listen, I don't have an issue with just going into next year with Geno Smith. He had a really good season. Thomas also says I should have grabbed Algier before Fournette. Let's see here. Yeah, I mean, I don't hate going Tyler Algier in the 4th round, or even if you got him in the 5th round. Yeah, I'm not against it if you want him on your squad. We've seen him go pretty early. All right, let's take a look here. Michael, what'd you do today? What'd you do? We got Mahomes and Goff at quarterback and Njoku at tight end. I'm good with that. I love the fact that you got Goff in the 13th round behind Mahomes. Like, you're set at quarterback. And Njoku's fine in the 10th round. Let's see here. Running backs. Barkley, Etienne, Algier, Hunt, Jeff Wilson. I like Hunt in the 11th round. Wilson's really murky, but why not grab some depth? I love Barkley, Etienne, and Algier. Love it. Wide receivers, we got Devonta Smith, Cooper, Quentin Johnston, Dotson, DPJ, Myers. I love some of the value you got in receivers in later rounds. I love Quentin Johnston right now in terms of rookie receivers. Colts defense, why not, right? So you're starting Mahomes and Njoku, starting Barkley and Etienne, Devonta Smith and Amari Cooper, flexing Algier. Then in your second flex, I mean, you got a little bit to figure out here in terms of consistency, but you got Quentin Johnston, Dotson, DPJ, Myers, and Hunt. Somebody's going to fill in for you. A good little squad here, man. In a good position at the flex, good position in terms of your bench depth. You got Mahomes, you got Barkley and Etienne, Devonta Smith, Cooper. It's a good squad, man, per usual. Bobby, what we do, man, at 1.9. Bobby, are you in the Dynasty Leagues? I just want to make sure, because I saw that you joined as a member. I just want to make sure if you want to play in the Dynasty Leagues, since you are a YouTube member, you are eligible. So just let me know, man. I just, so many of you guys have some, like, a different YouTube username versus a different Discord username versus a different Sleeper username. Sometimes it's hard for me to keep up. Just want to make sure. All right, let's see what you did today. Herbie fully loaded, Deshaun Watson, good value on both those guys. Good quarterback room. Mark Andrews at 3.9. I'm fine with that. Good tight end there, of course. Henry, Bajan, Monty, Mitchell, Pirine. Good running back value throughout the draft, man. Mike Evans, McLaurin, Gabe Davis, Juju, Palmer. A little bit weaker at receiver, but, like, if you get consistency out of two of these guys, probably be Evans and McLaurin. And even if you don't get a ton of upside, you're still in a good spot, you know, because at least you have some running back depth and a little bit of upside you can play at receiver with Juju and Gabe Davis, and even Palmer for that matter, right? Cowboys defense and butt kicker, so you're good there. Starting Herbert, starting Andrews, Henry, and Bajan, Evans, and McLaurin. Then you're probably flexing Monty, depending on his situation. And then in the second flex, like, you can go boom or bust, go Gabe Davis. Depends on where Juju is. If he's back with the Chiefs, I'm comfortable starting him. If he's not, we'll just see what the situation is. And you got some good kind of handcuff value in Mitchell and Pirine as well. So I think you could figure out the second flex. The rest of the team looks really good, man. Good squad for sure. Chase, I'll consider the Dynasty in so many leagues next year, figuring it out. No worries, man. No worries. And of course, for the Dynasty leagues, you know, you have to be a YouTube member to join. So it's no worries at all. We'll have the free regular, you know, catch fam tournament redraft style next year as well. So I know you'll be in something with us for sure next year, my dude. All right, so that looks like that does it for team reviews. We'll take a look at my squad and we'll start to wrap up the stream. Thank you guys so much for hanging out today. Thank you guys for drafting and talking fantasy, man. All right, what did I do today? We got Telon Kyler, quarterback. I am in love with that. Patty Fryermuth at tight end. I'm good with that. I feel like I got him at a good value at 9.6. Running backs, Eckler, Swift, Akers, Kamara, Madison. I feel like there's a lot of upside there. There's a lot of risk, whether it's injuries or suspensions. But behind Eckler, I feel pretty good about my RB1, RB2. At receiver, we got A.J. Brown, Mike Williams, Tyler Lockett, Zay Jones, Tyler Boyd. I'm good with that receiver room. Very veteran-esque. You could see some interest, you know, Tyler Boyd maybe in a different situation next year. But, like, if Keenan Allen is not on the Chargers next year, Mike Williams is the wide receiver 1. I love that. Love A.J. Brown. I still love Lockett year after year. We're just going to push back Lockett in fantasy drafts. For whatever reason, he has been a top 17 receiver since 2018. He has been a top 15 receiver every year since 2019. I just continue to like Tyler Lockett on a consistent basis in terms of his fantasy value in drafts, right? So I'm good with this team overall. Niners defense, Nick Folk, love this squad. Starting Lawrence, starting Fryermuth, starting Eckler and Swift, starting A.J. Brown and Mike Williams. Then I'm probably flexing Cam Akers and Tyler Lockett. That leaves my bench with Alvin Kamara, Kyler Murray, Zay Jones, Tyler Boyd, Alexander Madison. Yep, love this squad head to toe. I'd be happy with that team going into next year for sure. All right, Bobby, you're in the Dynasty Leagues. Okay, good. Just want to make sure. Thomas Lockett is clutch for sure. For sure, man. I'm a huge Lockett fan, as you guys can obviously tell. So, all right, guys, that's going to wrap it up for the day. So we will run an off-air Dynasty mock tonight. So make sure you guys stay posted. That'll go out to in the Dynasty Leagues in terms of the invite first. Go out to YouTube members first. And then as we need to fill it up, it'll go out on Discord. So make sure you guys stay posted. If you guys want to, we can run a late round redraft mock off air as well. And I know J-Dubs has an off air mock that he's been putting together. I think there's like 3 spots left. So that link is posted under mock drafts on Discord. And we'll get that put together at some point tonight as well. So stay posted. We'll do a couple off air mocks. And other than that, we'll run a Dynasty mock draft tomorrow for tomorrow's stream. So another great stream in the books. I appreciate you guys drafting with me. I appreciate you guys hanging out, talking fantasy, and I just appreciate everything that you guys do for the channel here in the dark ages of the off season. So nonetheless, man, make sure you guys hit that like button on the way out. Check out the links down below. Join our Discord. Follow us on Instagram. And make sure you guys subscribe to the channel if you guys were new and you tuned in today. So Thomas, Chase, Bobby, Michael, Coast to Coast, Brian, Tox, Emil, J-Dubs, Smokey the Cat, Sir Bongs a lot, Albert, appreciate you guys hanging out today. Everyone else you stopped by, everyone else you listened in or viewed this stream, thank you guys for hanging out today. I appreciate you guys, man. Love you guys, man. Love this community. Love the Catch fam. Hit me up on Discord or Instagram if you guys need anything at all. And, of course, stay posted for those off-air mock drafts tonight. And that'll wrap things up. Another great stream in the books. Another live, way too early 2023 fantasy football mock draft in the books. And with that all say, thank you guys so much for watching and or listening. And remember, you saw it here on The Catch.